Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amico. Well, I was not expecting such an esteemed guest in my humble workshop. Are you in need of any weapons or armor? The roads haven't been safe as of late.
Do animancers have much use for weapons and armor?
Nay, not really. But not all of us in Fior are animancers, you know. Besides, humble craftsmen such as myself, we have the rangers to outfit. Under normal circumstances, I'd not sell to a traveler like yourself. But as I'm sure you've seen, these are not normal circumstances. Care to see what I have?
Oh, looks nice. We have here. And hardwood, steel chunks. Can't hide, okay, yeah.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amico.
I like how they reset.
What's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city. The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald Stair.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it.
We can discuss this in private.
We are discussing it now.
Okay, yeah, I'll get that to discuss it, no worries.
How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike?
Sorry. Yeah, but he was stuttering. Sorry to interrupt. I'm also looking into the Dream Scourge. Condren, at your service. Never mind that. What were we talking about? What were you talking about?
In that case, you're right on time.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Seems more likely you'll have to punch some sense into him.
Hey!
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion.
I'm an Adrian envoy. Is that official enough? Private discussion. You're arguing in the middle of the town. Excuse me? But I'm talking to this captivating young lady. Yeah, I'll keep this one if I ever play a game where I really have my whole face covered in it.
Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
I'm sure he didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now our farms.
That's why I'm here. Perhaps an animancer can help me stop it. The deeper I go into the living lands, the worse it gets. Your governor disagrees.
Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
We definitely agree on that.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
I thought animancers leapt at bold experiments, but you do. What will it take for you to fix this? It's difficult to ignore denying farms once you start starving. Maybe he's just being cautious.
They do. And that's the kind of reckless behavior I'm trying to avoid.
Reckless is all we have time for. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Once again, bureaucracy stands in the way of getting things done.
I'm just trying to stop Chiata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark.
What's the worst that could happen? She's the one taking all the risks, yeah? I think she knows what she's doing. Let me take her off your hands. I'll make sure nothing goes wrong.
Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
Dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart.
If we work together, I wouldn't stand between you and your ambitions. Maybe we can solve the Dream Scourge rationally. Let's cool our heads. Let cooler heads prevail. I share the governor's doubts, but you are right. We can't afford the delay. What was that about your family's basement?
Really? Unexpected from an Adiran. But how could I refuse an offer like that? Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Chiata.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Chiata Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Whoa, you're banishing her for that?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Chiata is an outcast.
Let's go. You're making a mistake. Fine by me. I got what I came for. Yeah.
It's a bit too soon to tell.
Governor, this is unacceptable. Your father would have kept this community together at any cost.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west, by the workshop.
I'll find us another bedroom.
Did he just jump? Governor, you might need a cleaning lady. Just a thought.
That did not go as I had planned.
I hope that wasn't your plan.
What happened when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Chiata, some manners, if you please.
I thought she was being polite.
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego.
He must have his reasons. He's focusing on the wrong problems, that's for certain. Then why didn't anyone speak up with you?
Because they're cowards. To them, I'm just a cautionary tale. A fallen animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Misiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone.
You stuck to your principles, that's what matters. Can we still fight the Dream Scourge? I'm sorry to about your exile, Jutta. You are better off without the governor controlling you.
I wish I could take credit for Giatta's stubbornness, but she learned that on her own.
Thanks, old man. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want. On my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long.
How so? You talk like you have a vendetta against it. Once we've cured it, what's next for you? Enough talk, let's focus on the task at hand.
I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers.
I worked with animancers before, from a safe distance. Well, I'm looking forward to working with you. Not everyone in Edir hates animancy. If we can stop the Dream Scourge, I am willing to look past my biases.
It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days.
You think there might be a connection? As people keep reminding me, you are looking at me as though I am some kind of experiment.
Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because animancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by...
Helping you pack, are you alright? Stay focused. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge. No, let her finish.
I don't even know. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave your Misiverno. Forever.
Take all the time you need to think it over. Nothing ends. Think of it as a new beginning with new friends. For God's sakes, Quilici, say something encouraging to your pupil. We don't have time for this.
As much as I would love that, we're already out of time. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast.
So it's professional consultation we are after. I can handle that. Maybe I'll have better luck. Will your colleague even talk to me after what happened to you? Won't the governor mind if we interfere?
Glad to hear it. Your education should come in handy. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fjord. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge.
Sounds like I have my work cut out for me. What do you expect to learn? Such an eclectic bunch of animancers. So what's your theory on the Dream Scourge anyway?
I'd rather not speculate until we have more data. If you have questions, I'm sure the others can answer them. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial envoy, research assistant. Who knew?
You ever think, what if I wasn't a ranger? Of course. What would you do? Ado, welcome. Oh, I know.
Founded machine.
These people must be rich. They all have huge homes. The Art of Malicious Compliance by Elia Russell. When our governor told me to stop bothering him, I moved out of town. When he told me to hire cheap farmhands, I raised the deed. Now he leaves me alone, I have one. Firmes Inverno was founded on the principle of insubordination. In order to preserve our legacy, we must become a community of ungovernables. Yeah.
What do you think of Giatta's theory?
Well, my experiments have been a little...
Unpredictable. Like, the essence has no sense of direction.
How did you know?
We should talk, but not here.
The Adra is healthy. It's the essence I'm concerned about.
This again. You're beginning to sound like Giatta.
I've never stopped thinking. She
I'm sure her mother and father are onto something, and look what
I
happened
have
to
to
them.
do something. I can't let anyone else discover this.
Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop.
Jet and I investigating the dream sketch. What do you know about metaphysical anomalies in the living lands? This place is hardly modest, it's incredible. Explain for a curious outsider, how does animancy work anyway?
Giada, what a loss. I owe that young woman more than I could ever repay. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked.
That's not good. Jota said your machines could help her research. Great. And I suppose you can't fix it yourself, can you?
Ha! A novel idea, that. What I need is a stronger power source.
A battery of grimoires? You're an animancer. Can't you just animance one? Is there any way we can help?
Grimoires can hold intense power, but not for long. Besides, grimoires require a wizard to draw in essence. It's too dangerous at this scale. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove.
At risk of stating the obvious, we are standing in front of a massive Adra pillar. How does that help?
Indeed, but that well is almost dry. I need more. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards.
I'll see what I can do.
Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
If you can convince her to hand it over, I'll be more than impressed.
Yeah, I guess that one is something familiar. We saw it once in one of the previews. Okay, so okay. So let's first walk back in and do the other two. And try to get all the side quests that we can, so we can plan a way on how to do them. Wait, didn't I find... Yeah. Yes.
The great mystery is, are godlike blessed or cursed? The gods are silent on this question.
Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend?
The hell? You do realize I understand you perfectly. Sure, friend. Blink at them with incomprehension. Just for fun.
Remy, take a note. The endangered godlike's vacant gaze betrays an unquenchable thirst for violence. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
Jata wants me to learn about the Dream Scourge. What are you... Why are you talking at me like I'm some kind of specimen in a jar? Word travels fast.
I suppose we owe her a favor. Or two.
Giada must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giada needs to finish her research. Deal?
No deal, let's get this over with. That depends on what you want from me. Everything. Why haven't you told her this already? I don't suppose you'd help me out of the goodness of your heart.
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go around the wheel, you might not get so lucky.
I'd like to come back as godlike. I wouldn't mind blending into the crowd for a change. I don't know. I guess I'd like to be some kind of mushroom. Lucky? You think I'm lucky? That is what you wanted to know?
Tired of being remarkable? Interesting.
My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us?
I try to help people wherever I can. I wasn't born to be a savior, excuse me.
So, You believe we need your help. Interesting.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone?
Hopefully people remember me in the ways I have touched their lives. There are many ways to leave a legacy, and mine are none of your business. These are the worst questions I ever heard. Godlikes can't reproduce. That explains a few things.
Very optimistic, aren't we? I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giada wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Some good news, please, for the love of God. Just give me the bad news. I want the two of you to stop practicing animancy forever.
The Dream Scourge is proof that an unprecedented metaphysical disaster can take place at any time.
Oh, that's a load off my mind. Sure beats not constantly worrying about the future.
How's that good news?
Giada will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Of course, we may be able to learn about the Dream Scourge through the essence contained in Adra. I assume not just any pillar will do, because nothing is ever that simple. One more question. What do I do about the entity tethered to my soul? Wonderful, we are done here.
Precisely. A godlike and a scholar, too. Incredible.
Indeed. Just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge.
Not that we'd ever be interested in such research, of course. How droll.
Yeah, one more question, okay.
An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell. Did you hear?
Yeah.
Before they change their
Sent into
minds.
exile.
Ugh, I might have
Wonder if she needs
dozed
a little
off there
research
for a
time.
bit. Were any
Or
of those
maybe a
words the
test
ones we
subject?
needed?
We could do both. Anything to work with the great Giata Castel.
Okay, let's go talk to B, and then we go back to the base. Because they want to talk to me. Have to resist the urge to speak in an Italian accent somehow.
Why is
Oh,
it
this game
somehow
is not
worse
healthy.
when the revenants aren't trying to kill you?
A godlike in Emerald Stair. Well, maybe our luck's improving. I'd offer to shake your hand, but I've been elbow deep in Beatrice all day.
Excuse me? You mean the rotting cadaver? What happened here? This doesn't seem like the time or place to be cutting someone apart.
Beatrice, you know, the one with her viscera on display? As you can see, this is my reanimated corpse farm.
We can smell it, too.
I'm trying to demonstrate the value of undead labor. But of course, nothing is ever that simple.
Oh god. You are using the undead for labor. Living farmhands might give you less trouble. Do they work for free?
What am I supposed to do? Just let them decompose? Reanimated corpses are the future of manual labor. Cost-effective, low maintenance, and very friendly.
Don't tell Trump.
Now, Beatrice, she's being a real problem, if you can believe it. Would you be a dear and reach into her guts? Feel around for anything that doesn't belong.
Before I do that, Jetta wants your opinion on the Dream Scourge. I already did. Looks like Beatrice ate some spoiled crops. Are you kidding me? She's a revenant. I tell you, it doesn't belong in there, my hand.
Aha! So the blight got into my revenant and interfered with her raising. That confirms one of my theories. Not only is the Dream Scourge affecting our farms, it's disrupting animancy, unraveling our work. Sounds like I have more research ahead of me, but at least now I have a sense of direction. Thank you for getting your hands dirty on my behalf, godlike. You're a natural.
I drank through a lot of corpses. I thought everyone did. Jetta wants your opinion on the Dream Scourge. What's with all the equipment around the farms? We'll talk later, no?
Not really. But that's all right. You and I have something in common. Giata Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor. I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask. Is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town?
I'm afraid he did. Gossips travel fast in these parts. Banished was the word he used, probably to make it sound official. To be fair, she was a bit out of line.
That's our governor for you. Self-righteous even in his own ignorance. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo.
Let me guess, Silvo isn't a cow or goat. I'm sorry, that's terrible. You want me to draw your thumb across your throat?
Silvo is one of my Revenants. My oldest, my favorite, and the pride of my flock. Someone needs to put a poor fellow out to pasture. And I just don't have the heart to do it myself.
Well, it's already dead. That's the hard part done right there.
When a Revenant goes bad, there's only one option. Final death. And poor Silvo's time has come.
I'll take care of Silvo, and I'll make it quick. Sounds like you've been through this before. Any connection with what happened to Beatrice? Where do all those corpses come from anyway?
Silvo is on a strict diet, but I suppose he could have gotten into the crops when my back was turned. You never know with these rascals. Thank you for understanding. You can find Silvo in the barn. He's blocked the door somehow, but the window should be open. Just be gentle with him. He's a good boy.
So, we're killing a Revenant then? She just couldn't come out and say that?
And this is why I don't take pets.
Stillness meathook. Eckworth and Roth.
Not bad, Marius.
Okay, he's very much unalived. Let's go. Oh.
Emerald Stair has seen better days. With any luck, the turning of the seasons will favor us.
What's with all the equipment around the farms? Yeah, let's ask that
We're
first.
animancers. Hooking up equipment and seeing what happens is what we do. You see, the living lands is rich with essence, the energy of souls. We channel this energy into our fields. And that's why Emerald Stair is the breadbasket of the living lands.
There's something poetic about the idea of plants eating souls to survive. Creepy, but poetic.
But as you can see, we've been dealing with some irregularities.
Channeling souls into your corpse is unconventional but brilliant. Your farms depend on forces you cannot control. That's madness. Do you think it could be the Dream Scourge?
Thank you. We've been at it for a while now, but there is still so much to learn. Traditional farms depend on water, sunlight, and the mercy of insects. What you see here is no different. Animancy can change the world, but it's an uphill climb. People don't trust what they don't understand.
All dealt with.
Poor Silvo. He was a bright young revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace.
You promised me some answers. Are you going to be alright? Silvo didn't have a lot of a fight left in him. How does one grow attached to a walking corpse?
So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge. They have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen.
You haven't shared these findings with anyone? Vivat thinks we need an Adra pillar to study the Dream Scourge. We need to find the source of the difference if there is any hope of stopping it.
Quite right. A broken clock is right twice a day, after all. Adra is a conduit for essence. So maybe you'll find a connection between the essence and the Dream Scourge. Like the rings of a tree. A very old Adra pillar could remember its last brush with the Dream Scourge. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say.
Fascinating. I'm sure Giatta will be interested to hear this. I'm a bit skeptical, but thank you for your insight. In other words, you don't know anything. What if it has something to do with the entity tethered to my soul?
Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giatta are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
Yeah, no worries. We'll continue to do that. To make you feel bad about yourself and this world. Okay, we said we will go talk to our guys. Okay, go. Let's check the journal as usual. We have missing rangers. It's 1. The bounties are all kinda fun. And battle scars as a companion quest. Let's take the companion quest first. Okay, that's in the middle of nowhere, so... Another one. Missing rangers. Why do we have that one? Okay. I'm thinking if I go to here, yes. I'm gonna go check if I find some of that. Where do we have shops? We have shops over here, we have shops over there, and we have shops here, so let's start here. I just want to find enough to update my ropes.
What do you... Welcome back, my friend. How can I help you?
Apparently you can't. Next.
The living land? Time to resupply.
I have lockpicks. And you have pelt. That's not what I need. Point. And you have nothing. Okay. Next. Okay. Up. Let's go here.
Finally, another customer. Come in. Oh, it's you.
Come to the wrong place.
No, I'm just not used to seeing people like you. I would have swept if I'd known you were coming.
What's the whole town?
An unpretentious godlike. The Living Lands really does have everything. Anyway, what are you having?
Nothing from you. Sorry. But I'll take everything you have here.
No one tops my prices, yeah? I've seen you before, haven't I? Or maybe heard someone talking about you? Welcome to my store. If I haven't got it, it can't be got.
Did you say you heard someone talk about me?
The envoy from Adir, perhaps? There's a buzz anytime someone from the Empire arrives on these shores. You'll get no trouble from me, though the Adirans tend to do their shopping within the walls for whatever reason.
Just the wood. Always just the wood, iron trunks and pelt. Never what I need. Ugh.
Supplies you need for...
Will they really force me to get a walkthrough or find a map with all the locations and then run around one location, find one location after the other to get the materials I need? That's going to be fun.
Doing.
Home sweet.
She asked about you again, Hal. She wants to know when you'll It has to be tonight. Why?
Sit down. What do you want?
You could put away the basil, barkeep. No mouthy fools to scare away this time.
Damn it. I was looking forward to pulling that one again.
This isn't right. Stealing from a dead man. There's got to be a curse on that. Fine, you want to stay poor? That's up to you.
I don't think she has anything.
Good. You made it back.
No, I think it's always the same. Some madras, some wood and so on, and that's about it.
I knew you'd be back.
No. Okay, is that enough? Isn't that enough? So those were those two shops. He shouldn't have anything. Let's check that guy out and then afterwards we are good to go back. So, how to get there?
Maybe don't look so endearing around here. Paradise militia can be a bit oversensitive.
Hail. Welcome to my shop, envoy.
Have you lived in Paradise long?
Have I? Yeah, I've lived here my entire life. So did my parents and their parents before them. We keep the city safe as best we can. Happy?
Why did your ancestors come here originally?
Couldn't tell you. Been so long the family's forgotten. Don't really care, honestly. Hail.
He didn't have anything interesting, and I don't think he had anything interesting too, so... up. So, let's go back there. And let's go back to the camp. Yes.
Envoy? Well, that was interesting, right? The woman arguing about the crops failing? Standing up for what you believe against authority. I can respect that. Of course, my method would have been run away under the cover of night, never to return, but yeah, this works for her.
She's right, they are trying to ignore an obvious threat. They can't call off the harvest on the opinions of a single person. You don't think you'd stand up for what you believe? You don't seem like one to avoid conflict.
I don't know. In my experience, it's always the snake you don't see that bites you. Anyway, there's clearly more going on here than a bunch of animancers sitting in dusty labs doing whatever they do all day. Beyond that, nah, I can't help you. Call me when you're back to facing real danger. Right, changing the subject. Ask away. I haven't dealt with Delumgon and blights and such all that much. They usually don't bother you unless you step too far off the trail. Of course, that's pretty much a given in your line of work, so we're all doing things we're not used to doing. Still, if you have a choice between upsetting the forest and not doing that, think about it. Maybe consider that the Forest and Emerald Stair are known to hold a grudge.
Heard anything interesting out there?
There is something big in the southeast of the region. Most hunters say to stay away from there.
Do you have any tips for surviving Emerald Stairs?
Let's see. Less urgency for shelter here. You can find shrubs to block the wind or tree cover to protect from rain. There's also plenty of food around too, if you know where to look. Rule of thumb, if it's red, don't eat it. Or if it makes you itch. There's also just about any kind of game you can imagine. Just make sure whatever you catch doesn't have mushrooms growing out of its face. Oh, and be careful when you leave the roads. You never know when that deer you killed was some Delumgon's favorite pet. Right, changing the subject. Until next time.
So, you're good? Yeah, you're good.
You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valian republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giada didn't draw blood.
Giada had to make her point. Vidaro was being unreasonable. It was excessive. Loud, public confrontations rarely win people over. I'm surprised no one else backed her up.
I wish I could say the same. Living Landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people, especially when it means getting them to face a hard truth.
I remember that attitude well from my academic days. Sometimes you have to take a stand even if it costs you. Are you hinting at hard conversations that we need to have?
Kai hinting? Believe me, that Nim dude isn't subtle.
He's right. I'd rather drink salt water than have a hard conversation. That's what I admire about Giada. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
I got it. Losing home is hard, especially when home doesn't love you back. Sometimes you have to cut ties. A home that compromises you isn't worth returning to. No community is perfect, but I wouldn't be so quick to abandon mine.
Sometimes that just makes it easier.
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giada's situation.
Right. Like, what did you think I was talking about?
Anyway, this can't be an easy time for Giada, but I'm glad to have her on our side.
Can we talk about something else for a moment? Agree, let's get some rest now.
What's on your mind?
Seeing Captain Elfir in Fjord Mes Iverno is unexpected, yeah.
And troubling. What was it she said? The Steel Garrote will ensure the safety of Adiran interests?
And from what I've seen, the Steel Garrote will do more harm than good to Adirian interests. If the Steel Garrote can help while keeping Adir's hands clean, I'm all for it. What do you think it means? Yeah, what do you think it means? No.
They aren't going to make you any friends, that's for sure. Stay sharp. The storm's brewing. And better if we can find it before it finds us.
Have you been to Emerald Stairs before?
It's been years. It was always green and overgrown, but I don't remember it being quite this...
Aggressive, threatening, lush. Threatening?
Exactly. Something about Emerald Stair has always been unsettling. Everything in the Living Lands grows wild, but it's different here. Those giant roots, whatever they are, I don't remember them being quite as big or close to the settlement.
As if the land is pushing back, like it doesn't want us here. It feels like they are reaching out to connect. Maybe it is related to the Animancer's work.
Maybe. Either way, stay sharp while we're here.
What do you know about Animancy?
Not a whole lot, and I've been happy keeping it that way. Playing around with essence, poking at souls, trying to move them out of and into places they shouldn't be. Oh, it makes me queasy. Though, if we're going to understand the Dream Scourge and your godlike lineage, I suppose we'll have to get comfortable with it. Still, I'm happy to leave those pursuits to other people.
Yeah,
exactly.
Me. Thank
Other
you.
people. People who are a safe distance away.
No, me. I didn't realize Rotanians had a problem with animancy. I've never understood your position. Animancy allows us to better understand ourselves and the world. It is dangerous. One of the earliest experiments took place in Edir and reanimated a violent corpse.
Not the same way Adirans do. We've got no laws against it. I've just always felt more comfortable with things I can see and grasp for myself. Then I guess it's better that you're the one with a connection to something in the beyond. If you get up in the night, don't wander too far.
Okay, still need 5 pelts and 1 Paradisian ladder. 1. Okay, I don't need this one, so we can... My god, yeah, I also have to update the shield. Oh god. 4 more pelts. Do I really have to go back to get 4 more pelts? Because they were selling pelts, but I have 42 pelt. Alright, yeah, okay, they need to be more. 44 pelt. Okay.
I don't know what this thing is, but it's giving off power like another fragment in. This thing's just getting warmed up.
So I got 2 intellect and 2 resolve more. Ooh. Okay, I need to find those. Exit here. Okay, so I feel like I will have to do some stuff
A crackle of light
offline.
in a withered field.
Back for more. How are you going to make these dreams a habit? Don't you have any? Don't you have better things to do?
We had not considered this.
Still getting used to having someone in my head, I suppose. Is everyone in the living lands prone to these visions? There's a dream scourge around. It's not comforting to hear voices, is it?
Mundane. A lifetime lived in silence. We forget this. We wilt, we gnaw with hunger now. What has come of this place?
The situation in Fury is dire. Someone needs to help them. Honestly, I'm amazed Fury has survived as long as it has. Fury is a mess. This is what comes from incompetent leadership.
A hand of generosity, or a gauntlet of steel. We feel them. They bend and hone the essence of the earth. They draw from our veins like a well. What are these rituals?
Finally, a metaphysical topic I can teach you about. It is called animancy. They worship at the altars of progress. You'd better off not knowing. No, let's tell them.
Eons have passed. We do not recognize these strange machines. A harvest grows. The dead rise. What do they hope to achieve?
They want to heal souls. They want to learn the secrets of life and death. They are trying to influence nature. They want to harness power that Keith shouldn't have.
Set what has been broken. Soothe the pain. They build walls in their hearts. Why do they not share what they make?
Animancy is illegal in the Deer. Animancy is misunderstood. Many people don't trust animancers. The world isn't ready for them.
The flightless bird resents the hawk. Time flows forward. Do they bring wonders? Or catastrophe?
Anything that can improve people's lives is worth the risk. No knowledge is good or evil. What matters is how we use it. They can fight essence all they want, but I'm not sure they'll win. It is a threat to the natural order. It has to be controlled.
Fire that burns the forest feeds the soil with its ash. We have learned much. Dream of soaring wings in your repose.
That was fun. Okay, so let's quickly go here. Yes. I think all of them had pelt. Buy 2 pelts. Do the update. Quickly. I'll go here and then go to the sisters. Oi.
Good. You made it back.
Accept, danke. Up, up. no one needs to talk. Let's just quickly upgrade items, upgrade the rope. Yes. And upgrade it directly again. That's good. And now we need more tanned hide. Well, to be honest, if I take this one or that one, it's the same, so... And we also don't need armor like this. That's the problem, I still need to... Oh, I would have to buy new grimoires. Hey, I can update this one once. Yes. So you do enough damage too. Okay, so I need a shield and a grimoire. Oh, the Paradisian ladder. Hey. My friends. Oh, I can update it once. Power attacks deal high frost accumulation to nearby enemies. Successful parry deals high frost accumulation to attacking enemies. Power attacks deal moderate frost accumulation to nearby enemies. Oh no, I won't do successful parries. Oh, let's take this one for now. Nice. Exit here. Okay, so... Let's see if we got more quests. If not, we'll start to clean up the quests we have.